Hey friends, welcome back to the Bud Studio. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you the BudTrainer training method, specifically how to get your plant ready in veg so that you can flip the flower with multiple tops. This is a modified manifold that helps you multiply the amount of tops without stressing your plant out too much so that you're not spending too much time in veg. So the first step of the BudTrainer method is planting and germinating. We've already done that. This seedling is ready to be transplanted. We can tell that by pushing up on the bottom here and seeing that the roots have already made it to the top of this cup. And once I do get it fully out, you'll see that they've expanded throughout the bottom. So let's get nice and close and I will show you exactly how we transplant. Well, after a few more days in the veg tent, this lady is ready to be topped. So for the BudTrainer method, the goal of topping here is to get 8 branches from 4 of the nodes. So we are looking to top right above the 5th node and remove the lowest node. So I have one very small node. The second node is actually grown larger shoots than my 3rd node, so I'm happy that that 2nd node has developed the way it has, and I think I can keep that. The 6th node is just appearing, so this is an ideal time to top this plant. So we're just going to go ahead and top. We don't want to wait and have this piece that we're removing develop too much, unless, for example, you want to take a clone of your plant. Now, like I said, we're going to remove the bottom node as well, and that will leave us with 8 branches, 8 shoots, 4 different nodes, and we will be good to put her back in the veg tent until it's ready for training. Our BudTrainer method plant is absolutely exploding, and I've decided that I am actually going to do a second round of topping this time. Sometimes I only do a single topping if I want a bit of a smaller plant, but if you want a much larger plant, you can do this second round of topping when we do the training at about this stage. I'm going to clean up some of the lower part of the plant, removing shoots and fan leaves. I'm going to top probably just the 2 main branches on the top node, leaving the rest of these to be just trained and cleaned up. Any fan leaves that are way at the base here can come off anytime a fan leaf is about 6 weeks old. Not providing as much energy to the plant as they are actually taking, especially if they're covered by other fan leaves. There's no reason to keep them on. And the shoots way at the base of these branches, well, they're not going to ever reach the top of the canopy, so we can remove those so that the plant doesn't waste any precious energy on developing those branches any further. Now, after I do this today, I will be giving it a few days to recover, usually about 3 days, and then I will flip to flower. If you don't give your plant a few days after a process like this, you can herm a plant. I want to top right here above the node that's showing some nice shoots here. Give her a little bit of a stub to leave behind. And boom, just a nice tiny little piece removed. As always, when I'm topping, I only want to remove the very highest node. So I'm only going to be taking off just that little piece there. That way the plant doesn't get too stressed. I'm only going to leave 2 nodes on each of these 2 top branches, so I will remove these shoots on the 3rd node down. Okay, so
Now I have 4 shoots on this main branch. I'll do the same thing on this other side. Remove the shoots on the 3rd node down. They actually were not very symmetrical shoots for this node, but that is okay because we're getting rid of them anyways. And because the rest of the branches are still so much lower than these two, I'm not going to be topping those. I'm going to do a little bit of training here on the branches that are not really getting their own space right now. So I'm actually going to be doing a little bit less training down and more training to the sides with these 2 branches. The BudTrainer method, you always want to be symmetrical, so whatever I do to a branch on this side, I'm going to make sure I pick the opposite grommet on our bud pots for the other side. I'm going to identify where I want to make this bend on the BudHugger. I don't want to do that bending over top of the branch. Hug that around, and it's got its own square footage for some light now. So that was the branch on the bottom node. I'm going to do the same thing over here, as I said, to the opposite grommet. Figure out where I want to make that bend. Bend it over my finger, and give her a nice hug. Now those branches right above the 2 branches that I just trained can go to the grommets right beside. For the top 2 branches that I've already topped, this branch is so high, I'm going to be using BudClips up top. As you can see, I'm giving it a little bit of a massage, and I want to place the hump of the clip right on that node below, so that 1 pin is below the node and 1 pin goes above the node. All right. And then we'll add our bud clip on the other side. Give this plant a few days to recover, and she will be ready to go into flower. Alrighty. And that is the BudTrainer method, the veg stage, veg training. The next step after flowering this will be the mid-flower defoliation. I know it kind of looks bare in the middle here, but trust me, in a few days, training recovers, these branches will fill in quite nicely.